Good morning, everyone. So, as promised, I'm gonna help you out with the assignment. Make sure you're turning your answers onto the assignment tab. So, number one says, Mr. V flipped 4 coins during a probability experiment. The outcomes of the first 50 trials are shown in the table. Based on the information in the table, how many of the next 250 trials would the outcome be exactly two of the coins showing heads? So if we look at our table, faces shown on flipped coins, 4 tails, not what we're looking for, because we want exactly 2 heads. 2 heads and 2 tails, yes. 1 head, 3 tails, no. Again, because we're looking for exactly 2 heads. And that was 25. So I'm going to put heads, 2 heads, over the total. So 25 out of 50. But we're looking for the next 250. So another total for the next 250. So how do you go from 50 to 250? Using scale factor? That's for you to figure it out. Alright, number 2. Number 2 says Mr. Alanis has 5 Dorito bags, 3 Cheeto bags, 6 hot Cheeto bags in his closet. He will randomly choose one bag of the chips from his closet. What is the probability that Mr. Alanis would choose a hot Cheeto bag? So, probability of a Cheeto over your total. How many Cheeto bags do we have and what's our total? Number 3. It says Mr. Lopez caught the following fish and put them inside his ice chest. We have 4 catfish, 6 sunfish, and 4 bass fish. I think that's how you pronounce it. Bass. Anyways, the point is that the total so far is 14. At random, Mr. Lopez will select a fish from the ice chest to cook. What is the probability in decimal that Mr. Lopez will select a sunfish? So, the probability of getting a sunfish over your total. And on this one, I want to help you on this one. So, sunfish, we have 6 sunfish out of the total. Now we can divide right now, but I'm going to simplify first by 2 so I can work with smaller numbers. So I get 3 out of 7. Now, let's see what we get. Numerator in the inside, denominator in the outside. 7 cannot go into 3. Add a 0 and a decimal. 7 goes into 30 4 times, because that gives me 28 with the remainder of 2. I'm going to add a 0 and bring it down. 7 goes into 20 2 times, because that gives us 14, and the remainder of 6. So as you can see, I already have 0.42, and in my my answer choices, I see that's letter B. Okay, this one says, which spinner has the greatest probability of landing on green? So we're looking for which one will give us the highest percent for green. Okay, so probability of green over your total. So let's do that. For letter A, well, I see that I only have 1 green out of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No, 5, sorry. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Letter C, I only see that I have 1 green, so 1 out of 4. And on this one, well, letter B, it's like half. So, literally half. Now, which of these are bigger? Well, 1/5 in decimal, numerator in the inside, denominator in the outside. 5 goes into 1 0 times. Add a decimal and a 0. 5 goes into 10 2 times. So 0.2. 1/4 in decimal, numerator in the inside, denominator in the outside. 4 goes into 1 0 times. 4 goes into 10 2 times, because that gives you 8. And 4 goes into 25 times. 0.25. And 1/2 is 0.5. So I will let you all decide which one's the greatest. Again, make sure you turn them into decimals. Number 5. It says Mr. V spins the spinner below 54 times. Theoretically, how many times should he expect to spin a section with the letter B? So, well, let's see how many B's we have. 1 and 2. So the probability of getting a B over the total. And we said we have 2 out of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 2 out of 6. But we are going to do it 54 times, which is another way of saying that that's another total. So class, my scale factor, and what would I get for the probability of getting a B if we spin it 54 times? Number 6. There's a 0.09 chance that Mr. V homeroom will not get donuts on Thursday. What is the probability that Mr. V's homeroom will get donuts on Thursday? So right now we have 0.09 of not getting donuts. We want to know what's the probability that they will get it. Well, I always suggest to turn this into decimals. So 1, 2. So in other words, there's a 9% of not getting donuts. So what percent will be for getting donuts? That's for you to find out. And remember, we always work with 100% in total. All right. Number 7. Mr. V treasure box contains 36 lollipops. Some are red, blue, green, and pink. The probability of selecting a blue lollipop is 1 out of 6. How many blue lollipops are in his treasure box? So we're looking for the blue lollipop out of the total. And right now, to get a blue lollipop is 1 out of 6. But we don't have just 6 lollipops. We have 36 lollipops in total. Out of those 36, how many are blue? Well, class, my scale factor will help you find out how many lollipops we have. Number 8. Mr. Pulido pulled marbles from a jar and recorded the color of each marble and then replaced the marble back into the jar. So he replaced it. The first 5 marbles that Mr. Pulido pulled are shown in the table below. If Mr. Pulido plans to pull 30 more marbles, how many should he expect to be blue? So we're looking for blue out of the total. Well, let's see how many blues we have so far. We have 1 and 2. We have 2 out of how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 2 out of 5. Because that's how many marbles he has gotten so far. He's only gotten 5. Okay, just FYI, he has only gotten 5. But he's gonna do it 30 more times in total. So out of those 30 times, how many should he expect to be blue? And you use the scale factor to help you with that. Alright, y'all, so please submit your answers on the assignments tab.